having a wonderful day. We are excited to see you guys. What's going on? I'm Brandon Medina. That is my man Joe Garcia. We're having a fun time on a Sunday, a beautiful Sunday morning. We are inching towards the fantasy football playoffs. They are coming fast and furious. I got the Vikings chain on. Just got back from Minneapolis, still defrosting. You know how it goes. But we are here with you on a Sunday. Joe and I both may or may not be hungover. Who knows?
No, I know I'm not, man. I went to the Spurs game last night with my dad.
How was it?
It was good, man. The only thing is my dad's like, I hope they win this game. And no,
come
hombre,
on, Dad.
se lo cagaron otra vez, dude.
You gotta be realistic, Pops. You gotta be realistic sometimes.
My dad's up there, getting up there in age, right? So we
Yeah.
don't know how much longer we're gonna have him here with us, you know. So we went. It was me, my dad. He's disabled, so had to get the wheelchair and all that into the Frost Center.
Right.
The kids, the grandkids, all my kids went with us and everything. It was a big old family affair. And my stepmom says, make sure you don't get him a beer when you go over there. You know, he's diabetic and all that.
And of course, you were like, first thing we're doing.
I'm like, man, he's an old man. I'm not going to tell an old man he can't drink. You know, I don't know if this is going to be his last Thanksgiving.
Who knows?
Exactly. So his first thing he tells me when I get him in there,
give me a beer.
Get me a fucking beer.
That's what he says. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
I said, you want a beer, Pops? I'll get you one.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, hey, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are happy to be with you. As we said, we are inching towards the playoffs very quickly in fantasy football. We have hit 2 back-to-back can't miss parlays of the week. So at the end of our show, when we announce that, make sure you're taking notes. We'll make sure to win you some money. Overall, we are in week 11. I have hit 4 can't miss parlays. And of course, all of these usually are 3-team balls to the wall crazy parlays that me and Joe have done. Joe has hit 2. Joe's on a rough streak right now, but I feel like the luck is in the building, Joe.
We'll see, man. We'll see if the luck's with me,
you know why Joe's on a rush? Because Joe is picking crazy bets at all. Joe's trying to pay your mortgage. I'm trying to pay your phone bill.
I'm trying to make Santa, really,
Joe's
come through for you guys this season.
Exactly. It's the holiday season. Listen, it's Black Friday on Thursday.
Yeah.
Right. This next on Thanksgiving, and the next day is Black Friday. We are going to win you some money to spend on Black Friday. I can promise you that.
Yeah,
but with that, we have prop bets coming up. But let's talk a little bit about fantasy football. First and foremost, if you are 3-7, 4-6, anything like that, please start making some moves. Let me tell you what happened, dude.
Bro, I just noticed that your lower third says Mike Jimenez, bro.
Oh my gosh. Hey, even when he's not here, he's here in spirit. Our buddy Mike Jimenez.
Let me go ahead and change that, dude. Keep going, man.
No, Mike. But we are happy to talk to you guys about kind of making moves, man. This is a big time to make moves. You have a lot of free agents right now on the waiver wire that you could be utilizing. There's people like Romeo Doubs on there, Christian Watson from the Packers. A lot of these Packers are getting dropped pretty quickly. If you have any tight ends that are available, like Logan Thomas could be a great filler, stuff like that. Take a look at that. If Joshua Dobbs is on there for whatever reason, I doubt he is, make sure you take him. And then I also saw Trevor Lawrence, a quarterback like that, is on my waiver wire because people aren't trusting that offense and they haven't looked too good. Take some shots, but like I said, make some moves. Let me tell you what I did, brother. On Friday, I invited my boy Michael Tani, my best friend, to come with me to the Spurs game, right?
Yeah.
So he's in my league with my cousin Josh and a bunch of buddies. It's a tough league. I made the championship the inaugural year of this league. And since then, about 3 years ago, I've just roughed it out. I just can't figure it out, right? My players are getting injured. Things aren't working out. So I said, you know what, dude, I'm done doing this. So I hit up Michael, my boy Michael. I take him to the Spurs game, right? I have season tickets. This was a business meeting. This was not a friendship. Let's go to a Spurs game, brother. I made sure. As soon as we got in the car, I said, hey, I have Travis Kelce. He's on the block.
Oh,
here we go. Let's talk moves.
Yeah.
I love me some Travis Kelce. What I don't have is great wide receivers. I traded in 24 hours. My cousin Josh blew my phone up and was like, what is going on? In 24 hours, I traded Travis Kelce, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, Brock Purdy, and James Cook. And in return, all through these trades, through these people who I think was not much to give up except for Travis Kelce, I got A.J. Brown, Kenneth Walker, Evan Ingram, who's the number 8 tight end for Jacksonville, and I got Justin Herbert all within these trades. So I made 3 different trades. You got to know your teammates, right? We have a Texans fan in our group. So of course I said, hey, do you want Nico Collins? We can make that Nico Collins immediate. Yes. Know your team, know your fantasy players, and know your other competition's favorite
Man,
teams
you're gonna
because they
wine and
play with
dine
their
your
heart.
brother like that?
They play with their heart, right? If you offer me Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson because I'm a Vikings fan, I'm probably more apt to give you a little bit more fantasy wise because I want those players. So just a little tidbit there. Make sure you're making moves, especially if you are 4-6, 3-7, even 5-5. You need to be making moves because playoffs are just around the corner in about 3 to 4 weeks for many of you all. So with that, I hope you guys are having a good fantasy football season because nobody wants to have a bad one. And we definitely want to make sure we're supporting you. But with that, let's get into it. So you ready to start?
I'm ready to start. Remember, we're on the second
I got you. Here we go. Let's get into a little bit of
Blessed is he who starts.
Blessed is he who starts is always our favorite segment. Let's talk about who you need to be starting right now. A big one here is Mike Evans. Love me some Mike Evans this week. Mike Evans is going to have a big game. He's been having big games for you all. Mike Evans has come in at the wide receiver 12 in PPR. He is absolutely a monster. A lot of people questioned him. I got Mike Evans, I want to say in round 6, 7, something like that. It was late in many drafts. I have him in a few leagues, definitely playing Mike Evans. Love me some Brandon Ayuk this week. He has been playing incredible, has been catching touchdowns. He seems to be sometimes touchdown dependent, but I like Brandon Ayuk. Another one I love. Hey, let's give some love, brother. Chicago's back in play. Justin Fields is back in play. Although they are not a fun team to watch,
No.
DJ Moore gets fantasy points because who else are you going to pass it to? DJ Moore and Coca Met needs to be in your lineups. The other one I like, ready for this one? Wild one. This is where we get a little wild here. Give me some Rashee Rice for the Kansas City Chiefs here because he leads in targets, catches, yards, and touchdowns. It doesn't seem like it, but I promise you he is. Philadelphia has allowed the most, say it with me, Joe, the most fantasy points to wide receivers. This matchup is going to be a shootout. All Eagles, all Chiefs, start them in your lineups. Everybody.
Difference in this game is going to be the defense, man.
It really is, and the defense side of the ball favors the Eagles for sure. So this could be a big shootout. The other ones I like, Devon Achane is back. Get Achane back in there, man. DeAndre Swift, like I said, any Eagle. The other one that I like a lot, how about some Brian Robinson? We don't talk about him enough. My boy B-Rob gets shots a few times, come back into the league, tears it up. He is going to have a great game. If you had him last week, you are absolutely loving it. 27 fantasy points last week. He could have a great game and positive game script, right? The Giants, what are they? Basura. They are trash. Look for Washington to get up early. Look for them to be able to control the clock, run the ball. Antonio Gibson is not their running back. He is a catching back. I truly think if they can get up just a little bit early, you're going to see a lot of Brian Robinson in this game. And what that means is not only fantasy football moves, but look for Brian Robinson when we get into our prop bets as well, because I do like Brian Robinson.
I got to tell you, man, this game here, the Giants and Commanders, does not scream fantasy football sexy to you, man, as far as getting points for your league.
No, but Brian, but I will say, I think Saquon Barkley's a start, and I think Brian Robinson's a start. Aside from that, you're on your own. I like Logan Thomas as a tight end. Terry McLaurin, of course, all these guys normally you're going to have to start anyways, but Brian Robinson, check this out. The Giants have allowed the third most rushing yards, second most touchdowns to running backs this season. So definitely get in there. And then finally, here are some last must starts at the tight end position. Dalton Kincaid's been awesome. He's been great for Buffalo. Buffalo plays who? The Jets. And we talk about them. We don't bet the Jets. We don't like the Jets. We don't respect the Jets anymore because they're always blowing our parlays. But Trey McBride, if you have Trey McBride, good God, you need to start him. This man is on another level right now with the Arizona Cardinals. And that's saying something because we don't talk about the Arizona Cardinals unless we're talking about the Basura game of the week. But Trey McBride is coming off a crazy game, 8 receptions, 131 yards, 21 fantasy points. He has been dominating, scored 20 fantasy points in the last 2 out of his 3 games. And guess what? Houston, allowing the 23rd most passing yards per game in the NFL. Great matchup. Start him. And you also can start. You ready for this? You also can start Mr. Kyler Murray. He is
Oh,
back.
man.
He is
No,
back.
bro.
He is back, and he's back on attack. Kyler Murray might be actually a sneaky play because the Houston defense can be so bad. This might be a blowout, man, as far as Houston just dominating them. And so, because CJ Stroud is actually legit. So I think Houston wins this game, and I could see Kyler Murray having to chase it back and throw a lot. So I think any of your players on the Cardinals should definitely be looking to get started. But
I
with
tell
that,
you, man, with the other game of the day that's surprising me right now, or it's interesting to me,
Okay.
Buccaneers 49ers, man.
really,
Only reason is that Buccaneers and 49ers have both not been very good teams over the last couple of weeks.
I like that.
This one is going to say who's going to be hungrier, who's going to want this
Literally.
W more, this
Literally.
dub, you know?
Yeah, we might see a lot of really close games today. It's going to make it interesting for betting
Yeah.
purposes. But those are who I really like as far as must starts for the week. I do think there's a lot of opportunity there. I do think there's a lot of upside this week. So a lot of good today. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of hate today. Nobody is going to be in a position where I'm like, you absolutely must bench them because we're in the fantasy playoff season, right? You're not now don't play George Pickens because you're a Steelers fan over CeeDee Lamb. Don't do that. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, not many players am I hating on this week. Truly, I just don't think there's enough for me to hate on. But we have a few to mention. So with that, again, all of these that I'm going to mention don't necessarily need to be benched. All I'm saying is if you have a second opportunity or option that you can go and chase and get maybe more points, look at potential and upside. If you have a second option or another option on your bench, maybe you should look that way. So with that, let's get into a little bit of
Thou Shall Bench.
Talking about thou shalt bench. Here's what I have to say about this. It's going to be, you're going to hate me, and I understand it. And many times we deal with the hate here on the Fantasy Gods. You got to roll with the punches, right? I don't know that Adam Thielen can keep it up against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Adam Thielen has been incredible this year, not because Adam Thielen is a world beater of a wide receiver, because Carolina has nobody. Adam Thielen's getting targeted over and over and peppered with balls because he is actually a good wide receiver, can get open, and he's the only one really doing any damage to the opposing team. Adam Thielen will get his fair share of opportunities.
He's their first option.
He's their only option. What I'm saying is he's cooled down significantly, right? Week 2 to week 6 doing crazy. So less than 50 yards in his last 2 games. Understand that, right? Adam Thielen. Am I saying he needs to be on your bench? No. But if you have a better option, please do. Dallas has allowed the second fewest yards to wide receivers. Now, I'm sure fans would probably disagree with that because they think they get burned all the time. But in retrospect, in reality, because Cowboys fans don't live in reality sometimes. We know this. My boy Joe Garcia over there. But in reality, the Cowboys defense has been absolutely stout against wide receivers. Very, very good. And they have the second lowest completion percentage to slot receivers, which is where Adam Thielen makes his money. So if you have another option, I'd be looking elsewhere. Truly, I don't know that he is going to be my favorite play of the day. The other one that I think I would be a little bit weary of, and again, not that I'm saying you need to bench him at all. I'm not saying you need to bench all these people, but I will say this. I would be nervous for a few folks as far as opportunity, right? Gabe Davis. If you're looking at starting Gabe Davis in the flex, the Giants are first right now in fantasy football against that wide receivers, looking at wide receivers in fantasy. So, I mean, I'd be nervous as far as playing Gabe Davis. He doesn't get looks all the time, very boom or bust. The other player that I'd be nervous about is don't keep him out of your lineup, but definitely keep your head on a swivel. Isaiah Pacheco is going against the number 1 run defense in Philadelphia, right? This might be an Isaiah Pacheco pass catching game. Don't expect him to dominate on the ground. And so that's just kind of all over the place. Another one that I think you guys need to be worried about. Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris have looked incredible this year as far as after the bye week. They looked awesome. So after the bye week, both of them, I think, have ranked as far as running backs. I want to say like 12 and number 20 or something like that since that bye week. they're going against Cleveland. We've talked about the Cleveland defense on this game. Cleveland is going to be very, very strong. You don't need to bench these gentlemen, but you need to definitely look at other options. And if you're not looking at other options, you need to temper expectations because Cleveland is not going to allow them to run all over them. It's just not going to happen. Pittsburgh will be forced to throw more. If they're forced to throw more, Jaylen Warren needs to be your guy, not Najee Harris. Najee Harris is very touchdown dependent. And if he's not touchdown dependent, he has to go and grab, 100+ yards. I don't see it happening against Cleveland. But that's just me. So that's going to be it for Thou Shalt Bench. You kind of agree there's not many players I think that we're hating on this week. There's just some missed opportunities if you're starting one over the other.
There is missed opportunities there, but I got to tell you, man, one of the disappointments for me this season as a Cowboys fan,
right?
Tony Pollard, bro, not even breaking the top 20 in running backs as far as his rushing yards.
Yeah, and I think Tony Pollard as a whole has been one of those guys that you took very early in fantasy football, somebody that you really relied on. He is number 20 in fantasy football running backs as well. His past 3 games,
awful.
6.5 fantasy points, 9.3 fantasy points, 5.5 fantasy points. Let me just tell you, Jaylen Warren, who we just talked about, that I'm telling you should look elsewhere with, is the backup running back to Najee Harris and is scoring more than those points. It definitely is confusing. And you look at his stats, it's not because he's not getting opportunity.
Yeah.
He's getting touches, 12, 15 touches in all of those games, not including receiving, just straight rushing touches. He's just not able to make things happen. I think what it is too is Dak Prescott is on another level right now and is playing out of his mind. And I think what's happening is you're looking at that, you're seeing it, and I think Dak Prescott and the Cowboys understand it's so easy for us to pass the ball right now that maybe Tony Pollard having trouble struggling rushing is not where they want to focus things. I do think if you have Pollard, expect a massive bounce back game today. I do think I'm talking about an 18+ point game today because Carolina's not going to be that good.
Yeah, they're not good.
And if you get up early, it's just give them the ball, let them waste some time. And it's going to be open opportunities like that in a game where it's a blowout gives him the opportunity to go score a touchdown, give you more fantasy points, just get some yards, whatever the case. I think you can expect a big game from Tony Pollard. And I would say he might be one of my favorite plays as far as an anytime touchdown today. I think he might be a touchdown scorer in this game.
Yeah, just to throw you the numbers. The numbers don't lie. He's only top 100 rushing yards once this season.
Yeah.
And he's been held to 55 rushing yards or fewer in the last 6 games, bro. So I'm just like, he's due. He's due for a big game. It might be this one against the Panthers.
He is due. He is due. All righty. Well, with that, I have a few players I want to say a little prayer for.
It's time for the fantasy gods to say a little prayer.
It is the holiday season, and if you've missed it, we had a song here for a certain player for the holiday season. And with that, I want to say a little prayer for my boy Puka Nacua, who we had Puka Nacua Maka, a.k.a. Malika Mickey Maka, our song that we made for our boy Puka Nacua. Matthew Stafford is back since week 8. When Matthew Stafford is in, let's talk about weeks 1 through 8 for Puka Nacua. Brandon, how good was he in case you forgot? And I promise you didn't. Week 1, 21.9 points, 30 points, 12 points, 31 points, 20 points, a 6-point weird outing, then a 23-point for Puka Nacua with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford will be playing, which means Puka Nacua should be in your lineups. How much do you trust Puka Nacua, Brandon? Let me tell you, I am benching Adam Thielen for Puka Nacua only because I like the volume for Adam Thielen. I like the upside for Puka Nacua. So with that, I do think it's going to be a big, big game for Puka Nacua if Matthew Stafford does suit up. Now, I know he has practiced in full on Wednesday. I do think he doesn't have any limitations going into this week, so he should be good to go. But just make sure before you change it that Matthew Stafford is indeed starting. The other one I want to say a little prayer for. You ready for this one?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
Say a little prayer for our boy Hollywood Brown in Arizona. Last year, Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray had an unbeatable, unmatched connection that they would just dominate for fantasy football. Hollywood Brown is a trade for target. Trade for. I just traded for him yesterday. But Hollywood Brown is somebody I love. Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray will eventually get things going. He didn't have a great game last week with Kyler Murray. Only had 4 targets, only caught 1 of them. But they're going to grow. Kyler's first game back. Kyler's done playing Call of Duty. He's now playing football, actually. Maybe he watches a little bit more film. Who knows? But Hollywood Brown is somebody I really, really am saying a little prayer for, and somebody I think will be a very, very good player for the future. The other one that I like a lot, and somebody that I want to say a little prayer for today specifically, I want to believe in that Aaron Jones has finally arrived, because Aaron Jones had the best week he's had since week 1, 2 weeks ago, week 9. Last week, he only gave you 9 points, but that week 9 performance was 17.9. He hasn't had big weeks. He's been a letdown. I want to trust he can be a great running back, especially against the Chargers, who are 29th in fantasy football points allowed to running backs. I like that. The other one that I like, and I hope this one doesn't come true because he's going against my Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football, but Courtland Sutton has been, I don't know what's going on. Courtland Sutton has been a touchdown machine, has been catching touchdowns ridiculous throughout the games. How many? 4 touchdowns in the past 4 games. Every single game, this guy's scoring a touchdown. But what does that mean? Here's why I'm saying a little prayer. Overall, only 2 games this year he has not had a touchdown. It's crazy. And he's still only wide receiver 24. What does that say? He is touchdown dependent. If he doesn't score a touchdown, you're going to get your ass whooped in your fantasy football matchup. Let's look at things real quick. Week 6, he had a touchdown, 14.6 points. If you take away that touchdown, he's only giving you 8 points. Week 7, 19 points. You take away the touchdown, he's only giving you 12 points. Week 8 against Kansas City before the bye, 10 points, and a lot of that points was from the touchdown. He'd only give you 4. Last week would have gave you 11 against Buffalo. If he doesn't score a touchdown, he's nothing more than the flex play. So Courtland Sutton is somebody I'm saying a little prayer for. But I know we have a question here. Let's look at this question real quick. We got our boy Chris Orozco. He said, I'm starting Swift, Gibbs, Waddle, and Rice. I need some flex help. Addison or K9 Walker. Okay. Good old Kenneth. Should I bench Rice and start both? Oh, damn. Interesting here. So I don't know if you guys saw, but of course, Justin Jefferson is not playing again this week. He is not playing again this week. Last week, the past 2 weeks, Jordan Addison has only had 10 points. He's averaging 10 points in both games. 10.2 in one, 10.9 in the other. Rashee Rice, I just said, is going to have a massive game in a huge, huge game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Kansas City, I feel like, is not feared anymore, Joe. People are kind of going into these games not very much scared of Kansas City, and they're willing to throw the ball and go into a gunslinger matchup. Philadelphia, I think, will do the same. I do think Rashee Rice is more risky because of the fact that against Miami, the last game he played before the bye week, only 2 targets, 2 receptions, 17 yards. One of them went for a touchdown. Without that touchdown, that dude's giving you nothing. It's tough, man. I would play Jordan Addison and Kenneth Walker and bench Rice, even though I just said I think Rashee Rice is going to have an incredible game. If you need this win, it's all dependent on what you need, man, because if all you need is a win, just a straight win, Rashee Rice might be a great play with Kenneth Walker. If you're looking for, hey, it's going to be a close game and I might be down at some point, I would start Jordan Addison. You got to play the numbers. Jordan Addison has not had the best 2 weeks, but he's going against the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos aren't scary, man. Definitely play that. Look at that. But like I said, Jordan Addison has had a solid season leading the Chiefs in targets, catches, yards, and touchdowns. But let's be realistic. That hasn't come out to anything, really. He's still the number 44 wide receiver in fantasy football. Just because he's leading the league or leading the team in those doesn't mean he's actually dominating. The Chiefs have not been the fantasy powerhouse that they once were. However, Philadelphia, like I said, is allowing the most fantasy football points to wide receivers. If you need a win and you need a solid floor, right, Jordan Addison is your start. He'll give you 10 points at least. If you need 15 to 18, something like that, Rashee Rice is your play. It just depends on what you need. Rashee Rice is the higher potential. Jordan Addison is the better floor. We also have our boy Jeff Garcia. He said from Locked On Spurs, man, he commented real quick. Is it not wise to count out the Cowboys as the postseason nears? The Cowboys will for sure be in the postseason. It looks like the NFC is absolute trash. Nobody's doing anything in the NFC. The Vikings are 6-4 with a backup quarterback and Josh Dobbs. So I'm not nervous about the Cowboys. This actually could be the year. And I'm saying this now in November. Don't ask me to repeat it. Don't ask me if I said it. I'm going to decline all answers to this.
We got the tape.
I'm going to decline all answers to this. I'm going to make sure this tape is removed. This could be the year, Cowboys fans.
No,
let me tell you. I'm not saying this could be the year to go to or win a Super Bowl, but this could be the year for an NFC Championship at the very least. Now, I don't think it is because I still trust the Eagles and I still trust the 49ers more than the Cowboys. But you look at how many quarterbacks are going down with the injury in the AFC. I think very much so this year's Super Bowl will be an NFC team.
Yeah.
Because Mahomes looks off this year. You look at, Lamar Jackson has had great games and then awful games, right? You look at the only team really in the AFC that is actually dominating is Miami. And even then, their defense surrenders too many points. But their offense is probably the best offense in football. Jacksonville, struggling, right, as far as quarterbacks. You look at Buffalo, Josh Allen turning over the ball at a wild rate right now. So I'm just not nervous, man. The AFC is still probably the stronger conference. But you look at things, you got the Chiefs leading the West, the Jaguars leading the South, and that's probably not going to last. I think the Texans will win that division. But Baltimore leading the North over the Steelers, and then you got Miami in the East, and Buffalo, of course. But, I mean, the Cowboys really, really might have an opportunity to make a run this year. The ones you got to worry about, Philadelphia, you got to worry about San Francisco, and I'll tell you what, every single person in football is sleeping on how good the Detroit Lions are. The Detroit Lions are for real. They are 7-2. They have the best record in the entire NFC division behind the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's not like they've had they've had an easier schedule, but don't forget they played the Chiefs week 1 of this season. So, I mean, they play the Chiefs. Here's the thing, though. Seahawks, Falcons, Packers, Panthers, Buccaneers, Ravens, Raiders, Chargers. They're not facing world beaters. They're not facing any tough competition. And guess what? Their next games, Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears, Broncos, Vikings. They have a very, very easy schedule. But week 30, Detroit Lions are coming to Jerry World at Cowboys. That might be a good one, December 30th to look at. That's a Saturday. The Cowboys and the Lions could be a very interesting game. But
a lot of fantasy point opportunities there, man.
There's a lot of fantasy point opportunities everywhere. But all I'm saying is I think Cowboys fans should definitely be upbeat about the season. I'm not saying this is your year, but looking at quarterbacks, looking at injuries, if Tony Pollard could get his shit together and Dak Prescott can continue playing the way he's playing, there's no reason you guys shouldn't be in the NFC Championship conversation. Now, am I saying you're making it there? By no means. I don't know who you might be facing in the playoffs yet. But I'm just saying, keep your head on the swivel, show your support, don't get overly excited, and don't ever ask me if I mention this on the podcast because I will decline. So,
and you know what's going to be interesting too? Cowboys, the Thanksgiving game, they got the Commanders, right?
Well,
and notoriously, you would think, okay, Commanders aren't really that
Cowboys
great.
are going to win that game,
the Cowboys should win this game. I don't know. That's another one that scares me a little bit.
It's a trap game. A
trap game, just like what happened with the Cardinals. This one has all the makings of a trap game, man.
Well, and this one is actually, I think, even more so. It might not even be a trap game. It just might be a realistic opportunity for the Commanders to get a win. Sam Howell has looked awesome, man. For fantasy football, Sam Howell, I think, is like a top 6 quarterback. Sam Howell's look great. McLaurin's look great. Dotson's starting to figure it out a little bit. Logan Thomas as a tight end looks great. You got Brian Robinson, who just went off last week. And that defense will compete with the Dallas defense.
Yeah,
the Dallas defense is better. Nobody's saying anything bad about them. But the Commanders defense has beaten opponents way, way more on fire, way more locked in. The Commanders defense has won us a lot of money as well because we bet the Commanders pretty consistently on this show. And again, they are only 4-6, right? They took the Eagles down to the wire for them to win, right? You look at the Eagles week in October, they took them down to the wire for a 3-point win. They took them down again for a 7-point win. Like, they will compete. I don't think they will win this game, but they absolutely will compete. The only team they got smashed by was the Bills, and that was back in week 3 or something like that. But I think that they should be coming off a win against the Giants. The Cowboys themselves should be coming off of a win, hopefully, as well, when you face a Panthers team that's not looking good. Yeah. So both of them might be coming off a win. That could be an interesting one for sure next week.
How many picks you think Dak is going to have? Because if the Commanders can keep the pressure on Dak, get him on the run, we know what happens when he's on the run and he's trying to throw the ball.
I mean, listen, the Commanders also have traded a lot of their defense over the past few weeks. The Commanders are looking to, I think, grow that brand and regrow things. But I know the Commanders as a whole, that defense really has taken a step back only because of the trades they've been making. Don't forget about those because they definitely affect them. But I think the Commanders will definitely maybe get one on deck next week. But we'll talk about that here in a bit. But I know looking at fantasy football, that's who we want to say a little prayer for as far as people that we like, people we want to show support for. Hollywood Brown, like I said, Puka Nacua, all that good stuff. And finally, now that it's at the top of the hour for 11 o'clock, it's time to get into our favorite stuff, some betting purposes. Real quick, we're going to go into our pick'em. Before we do, let's start the segment off right.
Pass the collection plate.
It is time. Welcome to church. It's time to pass that collection plate. We are going to be talking about betting. Before we do, let me give you some prop bets that I like this week. I'm looking at prop bets. A lot of tight end love over here for your boy. Your boy's giving a lot of tight ends love. Hawkinson, that sounded awful, by the way. Giving a lot of tight ends love. My apologies. TJ Hawkinson, 57.5 receiving yards. Give me the over on that one. I have my boy Trey McBride. We just talked about him for the Arizona Cardinals. He has 56.5 receiving yards. Give me the over in that one as well. Arizona will have to be throwing against Houston. I love that one. I do think that's a great one to look at. Additionally, looking at others that I like, I really do, for some reason, Brandon Aubrey, the kicker for the Cowboys, over 1.5 field goals made is something that very much interests me as well. I do think that's something that we can get ahead of in fantasy football. The other one that I like, Jaylen Warren, 18.5 receiving yards for Pittsburgh. I just told you guys, it's going to be a tough game against Cleveland. I think he can absolutely nail that and get that up and going. DJ Moore.
Pass the collection plate.
DJ Moore has 59.5 receiving yards. That is a lot of receiving yards, but you're going against the Detroit Lions. They're going to be competitive. I do think DJ Moore might be able to hit that. The other ones that I like a lot, Cole Kmet. Love me some Cole Kmet for the Bears. As you can see, I like betting trash teams, it seems like. But Cole Kmet, I like that he only has 4 receptions is his line. And Cole Kmet as a whole has been a very much trusted receiver of the Chicago Bears. He has hit that line 3 out of the past 4 games. So I like Cole Kmet there as well. And then I said it in the beginning of the show. Brian Robinson had a game last week that was so solid. It excited me and rejuvenated my love for the man. Listen to this. 61.5 rushing yards. Way too high for Brian Robinson. I actually like the under on the rushing and receiving yards, which is set at 83.5. I do think he'll get some work. I do think he can go over that. I'm just not trusting it. But that's the prop bets that I like a little bit. I'll give more on Twitter as well, but let's get into these picks. We have the slips up right now.
Oh, man.
Joe Garcia, only 2 wins on the can't miss parlays of the week. I have had 2 in the past 2 weeks. I've been on it right now. I've had a total of 4 wins. Joe's total of 2 wins. If you've told us,
but mine are sexier.
We
win big money.
Yours are sexier, but
big money.
You know what? It's sexy, but it's sexy for the wrong reasons, right? It's unprotected sexy, where it's like, hey, we might have something here. Or you might catch something.
It's thug life sexy, bro.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Mine is sponsored by Trojan Sexy. Mine's very safe. Mine's not. You're gonna have a good time, right? And we're just trying to get you there. So let's look at the matchups today. Our can't miss bets of the week will be coming up here soon, shortly. Let's look at what we have to bet on today. Chicago and Detroit. Not much juice, as they say, because Detroit is favored so high. Detroit wins this game, Joe?
Detroit has to win this game, man. The Lions, they got everything they need to go ahead and beat the awful Bears team, dude.
This line is set at -8. -8. What do you think?
I think that's a pretty safe bet, dude.
Wow.
-8. I like that,
So
man.
you take them to cover the 8?
I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions to go ahead and cover that, dude.
Fair enough. Dallas Cowboys, one of the highest. A lot of blowouts today, looks like. Look at the first three teams. Detroit -8, Cowboys -11, and then the Dolphins by 14 to cover. That's crazy. So Cowboys, do they cover 11 points against the Panthers?
I think they can cover more than 11.
Woo!
But I think it's safe. I think
Here
it's
we
safe
go.
at 11. I think it's safe at 11.
I think you're absolutely right, sir. I'm not nervous at all about that Cowboys 11, only because the Panthers just are not good, bro. They're not going to get anything going. I just don't trust the Panthers to get much right today, unfortunately. No hate on the Panthers. I'm just saying they're not going to be able to compete. There is, again, though, not much juice in betting the Cowboys or Panthers. What does that mean? Juice is what we say in the betting world, as far as your money is not going to be making a lot of money unless you're taking bigger risks. So instead of taking the Cowboys to win, you will need to bet $625 just to get back $100 for the Cowboys. You don't want to take them to win. You got to take the spread, and the spread is -11. What does that mean? A touchdown and a field goal is a loss. You need them to absolutely dominate this game. A touchdown and a field goal, just 10 points, will result in you losing your money, so you need them to win by more than that. Las Vegas Raiders and Miami Dolphins, -14 for the Dolphins. Good God. There are so many just matchups that people are getting hated on right now. What do you think, man? Miami -14? Can they cover that against the Dolphins? We've seen them cover 70 against the Broncos.
I think they can, dude. I mean, the Raiders team is they're just horrible, man.
It's trash.
They don't even have a QB right now.
No.
You know, I mean, this team is just set up for failure, man. The Dolphins should be able to feast on this one, man.
I listen, dude. You got me. I agree. I 100% agree. I do think this is going to be a rough go at it for the Raiders. I think the Dolphins will dominate this game. Arizona and Houston. Now we're starting to get into some juicy matchups. Houston Texans -5.5. All that means they got to win by a touchdown or 2 field goals, 6 points. I think they cover that no problem. Oh, here we go. Here, this is where you start losing
That's
money.
Where I get a little twinkle in my eye,
This
bro.
is where Joe starts losing money, people. Get ready. Here we go.
No, man. I like the Cardinals to upset the Texans, man, in this one.
Wow. Okay, money line. +200. Very solid. $100, immediate $200 gain right there.
Yeah, I like this one, man. This one's interesting to me, man. I would say,
is it going to make the can't miss parlay?
Oh yeah, this one definitely.
Oh
is, man.
no! Oh no!
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna swing.
CJ Stroud is an avid listener of the show. I don't know if you know that. CJ Stroud.
Oh, CJ. Unfortunately,
well,
man,
CJ,
trap game, man.
CJ, sorry,
trap game, brother. So I think the Cardinals are gonna be able to go ahead and best the Texans today, man.
Wow. All right, fair enough. Giants and Commanders. Yikes!
I don't want to touch this one at all.
Listen, my stepdad, my wonderful stepdad, Garcia Fuentes, is the man. I love him to death. He is a Giants fan, and let me tell you why he's a Giants fan. He stuck with the Cowboys, man, all his life through the Romo years, and then I think it was remember the missed field goal with the Romo,
where he couldn't hold the ball.
Yeah, and then you lose that playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the year that my stepdad said, "I'm done I can't do it anymore." He said, I can't do it.
Started having his heart broken. I feel it, bro. I feel it.
It might have been maybe a few years after that, but I remember that game specifically. He came home and he was like, "I can't do this anymore. This is."
He had his form ready.
And so yeah, and so I think the year after the Giants won the Super Bowl, whatever their last Super Bowl was, I think he jumped over. He bandwagon, sure, but he jumped over, and ever since he's been a good Giants fan. But he always gives me shit when I get home, man. When I get home, he calls me or my mom calls me, and he's like, "Hey, why y'all keep calling us the Basura Bowl?" And I was all, because you got matchups like this, Gilbert. You got the Giants and Commanders. The only other trash game that I could look at is, aside from, maybe you can make a case that, no, that's it. You guys are the trash game. There's no
trash game of the week.
I was gonna say maybe like the Cowboys on because they're just gonna dominate, but at least it's worth watching. There's good fantasy points there. I don't know, man. This Commanders game, the Chargers,
it's disgusting, dude. It's disgusting. It is.
The Chargers and the Packers also are not exciting, but I mean, I think this is the basura game of the week for what, 3 weeks in a row with the Giants.
It is, bro.
The Giants in the basura game of the week against the Commanders. Commanders -8. Giants upsetting? Is that what you're saying? Joe, don't be crazy, Joe.
No,
Joe,
man.
don't start,
Giants
Joe.
are not
Joe,
upsetting nobody,
don't
bro.
start, Joe.
Commanders over the Giants, brother.
By 8?
By 8.
Joe.
I'm telling you, man.
So you're thinking they win by 9 or more?
9 or more.
Oh, Joe.
What, bro? My picks are wild, bro. You know this, man. You know
That's a
this.
lot, Joe. I think this is a pretty close game, actually. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. But if I did for the people out there who like to have money, I think Giants +8 might not be a wild, awful bet.
You know what, man? You play it safe. What's that gonna get you, man? You're gonna be driving around in a little Hyundai. You go with Joe, you'll be driving around in a Ferrari, man.
He's only won 2 bets in 11
but
weeks.
Paid big,
they paid
bro.
out big.
They paid out big, bro.
Tennessee Titans and Jaguars, sir. Nasty. I don't like this game either. This game's gross. Jaguars have played like trash. Tennessee, though, money line +245.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
that's juicy.
First one, dude, I got the Titans over the
No
Jags.
way.
Titans over Jags, bro.
So you're taking the money line 245 again.
Money line
$100
$245.
$100 wins you $245 like that. Chargers, Packers. Give me the Chargers. I would never bet the Packers. I'll never think about it ever in my entire life.
Who? That's what I say.
Yeah.
Who?
Who cares about
Yeah.
the Packers? Give it to me, brother. What do you think?
Yeah, no doubt, man. Chargers over Packers. At least I like that. The 3.
You're fair.
I'm with the 3.
Oh, so you'll take the -3.
But take the -3, dude.
I agree.
I'm with that.
I agree with that.
I'm with that.
I agree with that. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, close spread. -2. Just a field goal wins you this one.
And this one is
A field goal.
Damn.
Okay, so just field goal in the Chargers Packers game. That's a push. Usually you'll get your money back. It depends on what sports book you're doing, but you'll get your money back. You're not going to win anything. They need to win by more than 3. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, a field goal wins this bad boy. Pittsburgh +110 money line against a Cleveland team with a backup quarterback, no Deshaun Watson. That's kind of juicy.
it's kind of even the odds on both sides.
It is
You know?
because, like we said in the last segment when we're talking about like who to start, who to bench, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren and Najee Harris will not be as effective against this Cleveland defense. They're not going to be running the ball down their throat the way they normally do.
It's true, but you know what? At the end of the day, I do like the Steelers over the Browns +3. I think the Browns can go ahead and give the Browns are going to give the Steelers this game in the waning seconds.
But you're saying you would like to tease it to +3. So
+3.
So you keep the field goal a little bit safer.
I keep the field goal
Because
safer.
if you take +2 and Cleveland wins by 3, you're donezo. It's over.
No, I like it +3.
+3. Fair enough. Tampa Bay and the 49ers. We said this game was an interesting one that might make it into your lineup. It is -13.5. I don't know what made it interesting for you, but it's not looking as interesting.
It doesn't look as interesting.
I don't
but
know what
me
you thought it was.
and my hate for the 49ers.
Whoa, am I seeing this right? Am I seeing this Vikings game right? Anyways, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I'm just saying my hate for the 49ers, it goes deep.
Does it really?
It runs deep. So I got to say, man, I like Tampa Bay to go ahead and best the 49ers, but I don't know they're going to beat them by 14, bro.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. I think it's going to be a closer game. I'd be safer with the field goal.
Ooh, man. Yeah, I mean, you're losing so much value on a field goal. I just think you don't even touch this game. Just don't touch this game, people.
No, it's a nasty one, man.
Don't
I'm just
touch
saying.
it just because the line's too high. The Buccaneers have no shot. But there's no juice in this game to
I like
bet
the
on.
Buccaneers over the 49ers.
Wait, what?
I like the Buccaneers over the 49ers by a field goal.
So I thought you were saying
No. I didn't twist my words. You did. I said I like the Buccaneers over the 49ers by a field goal.
Joe. I think you're getting into the age, brother.
No,
I think
man.
it's time
I'm
to
telling you,
go.
my hate for the 49ers
think-
runs deep.
There's Joe, you can't bet with your heart, Joe.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Joe, the Buccaneers are
Buccaneers
beating the 49ers.
Buccaneers over the 49ers by a field goal.
Joe, there's no fucking shot.
You say that. What would I win though?
Joe, well, we'll talk about it at the end. Right now,
Yeah.
if you just did just that bet alone, just Buccaneers alone, no other bet.
Buccaneers over 49ers by a field goal.
Okay, dude. again, Joe. Let's
You
think
want to
about.
be, man, you go with Brandon, you're going to be in a
Let's-
Hyundai, bro. You want a
let's-
Hyundai or Ferrari?
let's
What do you want to drive in?
let's think about this, Joe. You're getting ridiculous right now. Just the money line is plus 550.
I'm telling you, man.
So $100 just to wins you $550. You don't need to do the field goal, Joe. Don't add the field goal. Just do money line.
okay, you do the money line, but I'm saying I like Buccaneers over 49ers, bro.
Joe, please stop, Joe.
I call my bookie right now. 49ers?
Dude,
The
he's gonna go.
Dunzo, man.
He's gonna go. Yeah, I'll take that free money all day. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
All right. Jets, Bills. I can't even listen
Nah,
to you
man,
anymore.
I don't want
You're
to
just
even. This game, dude. I already told you about the Jets. They belong to the streets, bro.
they're done for you.
You know what? And watch them beat the freaking Bills, dude.
No way.
They're done. I'm done with them, though.
No
I'm
chance.
done with them.
Well, maybe Jets defense is pretty good, and Josh Allen loves tossing to other defenses.
Yeah, he likes throwing picks.
He loves them. Let's Seahawks and Rams. This is a game right here that I am very interested in, boys. Very. But
Your boy Puka.
you know what? Here's the thing. We all have to learn from prior mistakes. Do you agree?
I agree.
Right? We've made a mistake in this exact matchup. Right? Your boy smashed so many bets this year. Week 1. Let me take you back to week 1. September 10th, 2023. It lives in my head rent free. I bet on Matthew Stafford and the Rams to beat the Seahawks, which is what I'm looking at right
What
now.
happened?
And the Seahawks whooped ass. I'm sorry, no, I bet the Seahawks to win because Geno Smith, and the Chargers whooped ass.
Yeah.
You got to learn, right? Geno Smith, I loved you, but I have to let you go for my own sanity, right? Give me the Rams minus 1.5 for sure. I love the Rams in this game. They beat the Seahawks in week 1, and I had bet the Seahawks. I'm not touching the Seahawks anymore. Give me the Rams.
I like the Seahawks over the Rams.
See, why do you do this?
I'm just
What
telling
are
you,
you
man.
doing?
The heart wants what the heart wants, Brandon. I'm telling you, man. That
Get
Ferrari's
a new
looking real
heart.
good.
Get a new heart. So what's
I
going
need a
on?
new Ferrari, bro.
All right, let's go over here. Vikings, Broncos. The chain is up, baby. The chain is up. The chain is up. The line is plus.
You feeling confident?
It depends where you're betting. Line is plus 2.5 or plus 3 Vikings. Denver is the favorite. It is in Denver. What do you think, sir?
This one's a tough one for me to go ahead and tell you what I'm thinking. But you know what? At the end of the day, I do like the Vikings over the Broncos, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
see,
I'm going
you always
back.
gotta go butts. Why do you always do butts?
Every time Brandon comes in here wearing that Vikings gear,
No, that's not true. They dominated with Josh Dobbs when I wore it last time.
most of the time,
Most times,
of the
though.
time he comes in here, man, they
Yeah, they-
lose.
That is true.
So I'm telling you, I don't know if you're gonna have you're gonna redeem yourself by wearing the gear and the chain.
Yeah. The chain.
This one on paper tells you Vikings over Broncos. You know,
Well, it says the Broncos are favored, but again, it's just why you trust in the Broncos.
I'm just saying, you know, at the end of the day, you see what the Vikings did last week.
Yeah.
With Dobbs.
It looks great.
They look good.
They look great.
They look great. You know, and you look
If Justin Jefferson was playing, this would be a flip-flop line.
yeah,
It's just not.
you're looking at this, and then you're like, man, the Broncos, man, look at what they did last week.
They dominated. They look really good.
Man, they look pretty good against the freaking Bills.
Yep.
But the Broncos are fool's gold, man.
It's fool's gold. You
Fool's
heard it
gold,
here.
man.
You heard
So-
it here first.
I got to weigh the options, but I still, at the end of the day, I still do like the Vikings over the Broncos.
And the big one, the biggest Monday night game of the season so far. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. What are you taking?
Oh man, this one.
This is a absolute must bet game. It's
This
too
one
much.
it's too
It's
a
too
big
big.
game.
Plus,
This one,
the Eagles at plus 3 is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
It's in Kansas City, though, I think, right?
It's in Kansas
it's in
City.
Arrowhead.
I like the Eagles over the Chiefs, but I like them over the Chiefs by a touchdown.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. Why? Why do you do this?
Eagles have a very good defense.
No, I agree, but you could just say money line. Why do you just
No,
go
I like
for-
it by a touchdown. I'm gonna tell you why, because I think that Eagles defense is going to be
Jesus
able to
Christ.
return one of these plays
Yeah.
for a pick six going the other way. Eagles defense going to show up big, Mahomes is going to throw an interception, go the other way. I think the Eagles win this one by at least a touchdown. That defense is no joke.
Wow. Well, you're looking at like plus 3 something on that for sure on the Eagles. That's crazy.
You either bet big or you go home and you just drive a little Hyundai, bro.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess so.
You go with gas money to put $10 worth of gas in a Hyundai.
Gas money.
Or you can go home. You can bet with Joe. You go home in a brand new car.
Paid off,
brother. Cash money.
That's right. All right, talk to me a little bit. So I'm gonna give you my can't miss parlay of the week. Let's go back to the people real quick, Joe. See if we have any questions or any comments real quick. But I'm gonna give you first. You always go first, man. You always go first.
We do got some comments, man.
We got some comments. Before we do, let's talk a little bit about doing some RB maintenance for PPR leagues for the stretch. RB room includes Etienne, Robinson, HN, Ford, Najee Harris, Pacheco is out there for the get. Any swaps here for him, or am I good? Let me read that one more time. That's a lot of running backs. Includes Etienne, Robinson, HN, Ford, and Najee Harris. Pacheco is out there for the get. Any swaps for him? It's a great question, man. Here's what I like about Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco is an absolute trade for candidate if you are struggling or if you need a running back to go with the rest of the season, because his strength of schedule is very much up in the air. Not everybody agrees on strength of schedule, but the fantasy pros for fantasy football rates Isaiah Pacheco's fantasy football schedule a 5-star rating, number 1 in the National Football League. I would absolutely be moving maybe Robinson or Najee if you can for Pacheco. Keep Etienne, keep A-Chain, keep Ford, keep all that. I love those guys, but Pacheco's definitely worth getting. The Najee hype will die down soon, so we'll see what happens. What else do we got, brother? We got Tex Frank. Appreciate you, fellas. Appreciate you, man.
And look at what it says.
Hope the Niners and the pinche Eagles lose.
Pinche lechuzas cagadas.
Fair enough. Need to find out if Swift is in the house before you make predictions on this game.
I don't give a damn if she's in the house or not. I told you what the heart wants, bro.
Come on, dude. Come on. And then we have our boy Jeff say, him is in agony over Joe's picks. Dude, this guy's just giving out crazy picks, bro. You know what I mean? This is the drunk guy at the bar just throwing out ridiculous picks.
But what happens though? When my picks hit, they hit big.
But they've only hit twice.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying.
I still made more money than you.
That's true. That's true. When they hit, they hit. That is very true. Very true. So let's talk about things, Joe. Let's talk about things.
We're talking, man.
I'm gonna give you we got Swiss saying, what's good, guys? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, brother. Here we go, everybody. Lock in now. Everybody listening, turn your ears up, turn everything up, get it going. Here is the can't miss parlay of the week from Brandon Medina.
The safe bet. The safe bet.
What a piece of trash this guy is. You know that guy. The can't miss parlay of the week on my team is plus 498. $100 wins you just about $500. Again, we're safe over here. We're sponsored by Trojan. We're gonna get you there safely. You know what I mean? Los Angeles Rams minus 1.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Just one field goal gets it done. The Philadelphia Eagles plus 3. I'm not gonna take them to win because it's an Arrowhead. There's no way the Eagles get smashed out. Plus 3. I love that. Finally, no surprise here. Los puro pinche Minnesota Vikings plus 3 against the Denver Broncos in Denver. I don't care. TJ Hawkins is going to go nuts. Addison's going to go nuts. Joshua Dobbs, it's your first game on prime time. Nighttime game. Go get yourself a win, boy. Josh Dobbs. In Josh, we trust. Minnesota Vikings plus 3. Philadelphia Eagles plus 3. Los Angeles Rams minus 1.5. All of them. This is the first time this year we've taken all spreads. No money lines, just spreads. $100 wins you. Total with you. When you win your money back too, total $100 wins you $598. Very
That's
nice.
Not bad.
Very
Respectable,
nice.
man.
Respectable. What do we got for you, bro? Because I have to make up numbers with you and shit because you start going off the books. It's nuts.
I tell you, man, Titans over Jags by 3.
Okay, dude, slow. Hold on. Let me just get there. You're already starting.
I'm already telling you, bro. Telling you.
So that's dude, the Titans are plus 7 in this game. And you're saying Titans over Jags by 3.
By 3.
Dude, I can't even go that high in the spread. Like, it's ridiculous. All right, dude. Whatever. Let me just see what I can do here for you, because that's a doozy there. So -3. Okay, go for it. What else?
We already covered the Titans and the Jags.
Sure.
The other one that's interesting to me too, Buccaneers over the 49ers.
I hate you. All right, Buccaneers over 49ers. So real quick, just so we're clear, the Titans are +7, which means they're favored to lose by 7. He's taking them -3, so to win by 3. Not even money line, just taking them to win. Buccaneers, he's taking them to win. They are favored to lose by 14 points, and he's taking them to win. Just so we're clear on what he's betting right now. Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Okay.
I stutter.
Go ahead.
I like the Eagles over the Chiefs by a touchdown.
Okay. This is just out of hand already at this point. All righty. So let me see, because I can't do it Eagles by a touch, but I could do something similar. So the Eagles are +125. So look at probably +200 for a touchdown. Okay, so here we go. Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Look at that, man. Even Mudslingers in here, dude. Where is
Dude,
it? Hey, look at what they
dude,
said. Look at what they said.
Dude,
Locked in Joe's picks. Already calling
Dude,
Ferrari dealership.
Mudslingers is the best drive-through coffee shop in San Antonio, right?
Bar none.
Bar none. They are one of our favorite sponsors in the entire universe.
They call them the Ferrari dealership, bro.
We show them love every show. Don't do it, Mudslingers. Don't do this.
No,
man.
come on, man.
Here we go. This is for sure, without a doubt. Here we go. For Joe's slip today, week 11. I'm talking, this is the most money we've ever mentioned on this show. Ever. Period.
Go big, go home, bro.
He has Arizona. Who'd you take? It was the Tennessee Titans -3.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers
Over the Niners.
over the Niners. And then give us this ridiculous last one.
Eagles over the Chiefs by a touchdown.
A touchdown. Okay. So a lot of these numbers could be moved around. I'm just doing what I can to try to fit these numbers in. This bet, $100, is winning over $7,500. A $100 bet on this is gonna win you over $7,000.
Call it Ferrari dealership, man.
Dude, I don't know about a Ferrari, but you can definitely go buy a used vehicle cash.
A Hyundai. A Hyundai.
You could go buy the Hyundai cash. $100, guys. This is it's just ridiculous. The Buccaneers alone. If you bet the Buccaneers to win alone, it's more money than my entire bar. The Buccaneers money line is +550, guys. My parlay won you 500. Like, it's out of control, this guy. But again, Joe's line, let me just take a note, because I'm like, there's no
Look
chance.
at Fred Villarreal, man. He says,
Dude.
wow.
Joe's out of control. Used car prices have come down. I'm ready. Dude, this is out of control. So again, just so we're clear, Joe is on one. So mine was Minnesota +3, and then we had Philadelphia +3, and then we had the Chargers -1.5 against the Packers. So as long as they win by a field goal, all of those very much attainable, easily. Joe's not so much. You got Tampa Bay, just money line, which already that bet alone. Again, I want to just reiterate this: if you don't want to take all of Joe's crazy bets, that bet alone, Tampa Bay to beat San Francisco, wins $50 more than my bet entirely. So that's how
more than your parlay.
that's how wild of a bet that is, because it's not likely. So Tampa Bay money line. Then he takes Eagles by what was it, a touchdown?
Touchdown.
That's ridiculously dumb. And then you got what's the last, Tennessee by 3. All of these, every sports book will happily take your money, because none of this is likely. Every single pick on
Never tell me the odds, bro.
every single pick on Joe's parlay are underdogs. So underdog heavy. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Before we leave, though, one last shout out to our incredible sponsors, man. We want to give a big shout out. They are awesome. They're going to be with us until January, which is wonderful. A big shout out to them. Let's start off with our boys over at Mad Pecker Brewing Company, 6025 Tesla Road. Go check them out, man. We're going to be there possibly in December. Keep a lookout. Make sure your calendars are clear. A Thursday night football game is in the works to go have ourselves a fun time at Matt Pecker Brewing Company. And Joe, you know we got to get the IPAs. We got to get the L's. We have to try, again, the best drink in all the land.
Tiger's blood.
Tiger's blood, baby. I'll tell you what, my dad talks about Tiger's blood to this day because he's like, I drink quite a bit, Brandon. I had 2 of those and I was a little tore up. And I was like, dude, hey, they hit you, boy. They hit you.
But they sneaky, man.
They got sneaky. Some great food, great vibe, all that good stuff. And of course, our favorite place is Matt Pecker's Brewing Company. And then we love us some Mudslingers. Can you throw that one on there for me, brother? I can't find it over here. But our boys with Mudslingers in the chat, in your life, and they need to be in your car when you're on the way to work. They need to be in your system at some point. The Spurs are struggling, but the alien definitely is not at Mudslingers drive-through coffee shop. Go check them out. They support the community. They support UTSA. They support you. They are there with the best mini donuts that continue to get me and my boy Joe Garcia in trouble at the doctor's office. They are there with all of the wonderful drinks. Go check them out, please. Mudslingers there, 2404 Thousand Oaks drive-through coffee shop. Stop going to these basic places. You don't need to go to Starbucks anymore. A lot of people actually are like completely pushing Starbucks out of their lives for political reasons. Fuck the politics. Mudslingers loves football. You love Mudslingers, period. It's that easy, right? 1 + 1 still equals 2, Joe. Go to Mudslingers. That's where you need to be, man. Stop going to these big time coffee shops that don't care about you, man.
Yeah,
Mudslingers, they care. They love the city. They love you. Mudslingers drive-through coffee shop. Go check them out. Again, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive. Joe Garcia. We have a lot of bets on today's table. A lot of bets. Joe's trying to buy you a used car today.
Today, man. I am.
Get ready, boys and girls. Minnesota Vikings. Sunday Night Football. We're winning this. Dallas Cowboys winning this.
I'm going to call you if they lose, man. You all right, bro?
Oh, my phone's going to be on Do Not Disturb. 100%.
You could be crying in the corner.
100% Do Not Disturb. If they lose, I won't be surprised, but I'm taking, listen, if I win this week, Joe's bet's not hitting. Let me just tell you this right. Joe's bet's not hitting.
What if it does? This would be the highest paying bet ever, bro.
In history of the show. And I promise you, we would never even reach this number again.
I think if this paid out, Brandon wouldn't let me bet no more, bro.
Yeah, if this paid out,
be done.
If this paid out, I'll quit the show. Period. Like that. So my bet, if it wins, though, boys and girls, that will be 3 weeks in a row. Brandon Medina taking the sportsbooks money on the parlay of the week. Again, those were our Camus parlays of the week. Go check them out. Our prop bets are there too. I'm going to post my prop bets here in about 10 minutes, right before game time. Make sure you check your lineups, get all that stuff situated. But we appreciate you. Have a great Sunday. Grab some Mudslingers coffee. Go grab dinner at Matt Pecker and continue to support the Fantasy Gods. Follow me at Big Poppy, Brandon M on Twitter. Follow Joe at 2 Shots Podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, every Sunday, may the Fantasy Gods be with you.